Good morning. It's Judith and Desjardins in the therapy room in my home. And I wanted to share this very profound recent experience I had in my journey with cancer, pancreatic cancer to be exact, which I was diagnosed with on October 7th, 2020. I have been making videos about my journey from day one of my surgery through 5 months of chemotherapy, IV infusions in my arms for 5 months, secondary blood clots I got in my lower portion of both lungs, the pulmonary treatments I had to have, the medication I had to break up the blood clots and pass it from my body. Had 2.5 years with no other intervention, and then I had a recurrence that showed up in my liver. It was 1 or 2 years ago, and I had an ablation in my liver, which successfully stopped what could be observed of the cancer progression. That lasted 11 months, and then there was a recurrence beside that ablated original liver metastases, little C-shaped cancer developed there, and then I had some scattered metastases in my abdominal wall. And I was told that I was no longer a candidate for any more ablations, so I went to my oncology doctor and said I'm finally ready to accept the fact that I can't beat cancer just with a holistic approach. I need your assistance. My body needs assistance. I will welcome the opportunity to have a port if I need it, and to have chemotherapy. So he devised a plan for me to be on Xeloda, which is 5-FU in pill form, me taking 2 tablets twice a day for 14 days, 7 days off, and then restarting that. And I have been on that since I think about 8 months straight. And at a certain point, my CA19-9 numbers started climbing, and he said, I think we need an additional chemotherapy. This would be an infusion through your port with the chemotherapy drug called oxaliplatin. And I said, okay. He said, we'll try it for 3 successive months, once every 21 days to coincide with the cycle of the Xeloda, and we'll see how it goes. And at first the side effects from the oxaliplatin were doable. I had about 5 to 10 days of an allergic reaction which caused red hot face, puffy eyes, watery eyes. The second and third days, then I started getting the hand-foot syndrome, that would start about the fourth day, causing redness and heat, which required me to wear cold socks during the infusion and during those days where I would be flat on my back with that side effect. And then another side effect was extreme constipation and abdominal pain, because those two chemotherapies caused like solid rock stool to get impacted. Okay, I could deal with that. And then by the 10th day in that 21-day cycle, I could get back to running. I had good quality of life. I was feeling okay. This isn't so bad. It's doable. And then as we pressed through just 3 infusions and moved to a total of 5, the shit started hitting the fan for me in terms of my quality of life. I found that I got new side effects that were affecting the top of my feet, my ankles, my calves to swell up, and that's called lymphedema, swelling of those areas. That really hamstrung me, if you will, to not being able to walk or walk with difficulty, having to have more days with cold socks on, more return of the hot face, and this coincided with my beloved cat, Hopi, slowly dying over the last 3 months from, oddly enough, lymphoma in his liver. Having to care for him, having to care for my side effects, which became increasingly debilitating. Having to help him pass to the next life. All of these things started piling up in me, and yet I kept pressing forward, thinking, I can do this, I can do this, I'm going to try to be positive, I'm going to send out positive messages, I want to encourage people, I believe in using a holistic approach. I kept making smoothies, making juice, making healthy meals, putting that information out there, wanting to encourage people. And slowly, I started shriveling up and losing a sense of who I was as a person. I'm sharing this information about cancer, that if you're a long-term survivor, it's not easy. I'm approaching 5 years, and the last 3 weeks I have been in the deepest, darkest hole I have been in throughout my cancer experience. My body kept cleaning house, doing loads of laundry, steaming floors, cooking, writing, posting, taking care of our blessed gift, truly blessed gift of little Lakota Joy, our 4-month-old Australian Shepherd puppy. And anyone raising a puppy will know it's a lot of work, but I told God I was ready, willing, and able. And so, also in this period of my decline and moving into this new chapter with Lakota, I was losing more and more of myself to this cancer process, going deeper, deeper, deeper into this long hole of being utterly, totally exhausted and feeling like I was losing my mind. I was in my body was moving, but I didn't feel secure and grounded when I was walking. I started cleaning areas of my house that I hadn't been able to put in order up to now in the cancer journey. That was positive. But there was this growing absence of mind and sense of myself, that I was this shell trying to walk forward as I was dissolving and slipping down to this very dark space. And I realized that all the side effects of the chemotherapies were just eating away at my quality of life. I had many more bad days in a month than good days. When I looked into the mirror, I saw this blank expression on my face. I didn't feel feminine. I didn't feel like my usual self. I was losing my optimism. There was a growing tension between my husband and I, not understanding each other, being at points of disagreement. I was slipping deeper and deeper and deeper. And I asked God to help me because I couldn't help myself anymore. I just wanted to run away. I just wanted to be peaceful. I just wanted to feel good again. I just wanted to be myself again. And I'm sharing this video because I wanted to say that God was true and just and loving. And as I was struggling to find myself and retain a sense of who I was, God swept in and turned things right again for me over the weekend in some incredible ways, healing the tension between my husband and I, helping me get through the exhaustion and weariness of being on the cancer journey, helping my body get back to normal digestion, normal size of hands and feet and ankles and calves, helping me find this ring that means so much to me. It's a moon-faced woman from an Inuit Alaskan designer. This ring I wore on every cancer experience. And I wore it to my granddaughter's graduation from high school in San Diego in the end of May. And I didn't realize until last week that I didn't know what happened to the ring. This ring that had made me feel stable, that represents the power and the wisdom of the Inuit women, this warrior. I had dissolved so completely that I was almost like in amnesia. Like I didn't even know what had occurred in 3 weeks. And I frantically looked every possible place for the ring, and it was so incredibly sad that I had lost her, misplaced her. And God in His mercy, knowing that that was important to me and to my sense of being a pancreatic warrior maiden, the Spirit of God came to my husband and told him, have her look again in the travel case she took to San Diego. That's where the ring is. And I went back in there, opened the case, which I had searched before, but I paid no attention to a little cloudy, dirty Ziploc bag that I had put her and a pair of earrings in San Diego. I was so out of my mind and out of my body and out of my sense of who I was that I didn't see it in the case. I picked up the bag and there it was. And that may seem insignificant to you, but it was very profound because God wanted me to realize how deeply troubled I had become with the cancer process, to give me a wake-up call and say, for every cancer patient out there in the world, there is a point at which you feel like you're just broken. And you teeter on the edge of, I don't want to have any more treatment. If I'm going to die from cancer, I'm going to do it without treatment. I'm going to be in my body with as much quality of life as I can sustain. And then I'm ready to die. And I was this close to feeling like that. Like I've tried to be a really good sport about this cancer process. I've tried to be a powerful advocate to bring hope and support to cancer patients, and yet I almost lost myself. So I'm reaching out to everyone around the world who's dealing with insurmountable challenges, who are on the brink of giving up and saying, okay, I'm ready to die. And I think of the people in Gaza and Palestine and Ukraine, women and children in Afghanistan, people who are dying in the United States because of the color of their skin, immigrants that are treated like trash. There's so much bad going on in the world, and it would be so easy for all of us to forget, to just give up. But I'm giving a testimony about the power of God in your life to reach out wherever you are and pull you up from those dark holes. I'm encouraging you to hold on another day, to reach out to God, to believe that your dreams are possible, that you can have quality of life and freedom, that you can hold on to your personal identity, that you will get through to the next step. I'm putting that out to you because I'm just one person with cancer. But this is my story. And I want to give praise and honor to the Holy Trinity, and however you define God or Spirit in your life, believe that they are true. Believe that they love you and will reach out and bless you. And I'm thanking God with all of my mind, body, and spirit for bringing me back from what feels like the brink of jumping off the cliff. So it seemed important to share this story, and thank you for listening today.